Now, hello everyone. Hello, hope you're well. Got for us today a little open fire. Don't do many open fires these days compared to the amount of stoves that I do. So I've got open fire to do. I've not done this one before, so I thought I'd video it for you. And that's gone. I'm going to do it one-handed, which I'm not normally, well, do the camera stuff one-handed. I don't normally do this, I just tend to have a shot of the fire while I'm working, but there we go. Tilt you up a bit so you can see a bit more. I've had to take the vacuum off the trolley today because it's been dry, but let's get plugged in here. Look, plugged in. It's that massive extension. There we go. I've already got my battery on charge because I forgot to charge them over the weekend. Put you there. Put you there. Yeah, the vacuum's off the trolley because on the way here, absolutely hammering it down. It's really wet, and the wheels on the trolley would leave lots of marks on the carpet. Get rid of that wire. There we go, that's better. Oh, I'm back again. Get rid of my sponges behind me. So, okay. There we go, can you see? Ooh, yes you can. Let's have a quick tidy up. I've already got my sheet taped down, as you can see. Got to tidy up before I start. Why's that? Why is that like that? That's not right. It's supposed to be on top. Really do. Okay, so what we've got here is just a dead straight. You can see I've already had the mirror in, and you can see daylight. It's a dead straight chimney. Brick, of course. It's an 18-inch fire back on this one. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot wider than your normal 16-inch, which are the best ones, but it's 18, which means the sponge blocks aren't the best fit. This is a little gap. You can see it, there's a little gap there. So use the taper of the fire back to seal with the sponge blocks. And they go in a little bit further. That's the words I was thinking of. And we're going to use a largish, softish, normal looking brush. Shove that baby in there with a 14mm rod. And shove that in a bit further. Okay. this one in. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because we've got a gap, I'm just going to run a bit of tape up that gap. Just masking tape. It's unlikely anything much will come out, but you never know, eh? La 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 la, la 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 la. Right. And there's less of a gap on this side, but there's a little one at the bottom, so I'm just going to use a bit of tape. That tape's from the Nax, it's that ticky tape. I will be buying another box full at the next show in May. I was meant to go to a chimney sweeping show at the weekend, and I was going to go on the Saturday, but I didn't realise it finished at 12:30, so I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't make it, which is rubbish. I was sat in the car and didn't realise till I was going to set off that it finished at 12:30. But there you go. Right, we're just going to use these fatter rods, shove it all the way up. There's nothing on the top, it's an open chimney. This property is a rented one, belongs to the local estate. There's a carbon monoxide detector on the wall, but there's no air vent in the wall, so that'll just be noted on the certificate. There we go, we're out. We can feel it pop out the pot. And when we pull it back down, it's sat on top of the pot and we can feel that. Not so much with the really soft brushes or the rotary whip head types, but with these sort of normal traditional looking ones we can tell. So I'm going to put the vacuum on and use the drill to rotate the brush. Just bringing it back in the pot. That'll do it. Nope. Oh, I hope. Knocking it. Nope, there. Way up there. There we go. Nearly done now. So, as the chimney widens up at the bottom, which it does, I switch rotation on the drill, which makes the brush move to different sides of that slightly larger gather area, and it cleans it off better than if you don't do that. La 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 la. Beautiful. Get rid of that tape, we don't need that. All that. Oh my actual word. A bit more than I was like. Apparently this was swept. This was swept. I've just talked to the homeowner. This was swept before they moved in a year ago. Okay, they've got a certificate from a different sweep, not me. Which is why I went, oh my god, because I wasn't expecting that amount of soot. So it's dropped down. It was a lot higher. You started seeing it. It sort of started to pour out the sides, and can we see? Look at that. All that soot. It was a lot higher. That's probably maybe 4 or 5 inches from the top of this opening. So that's probably, although I've got my sponge in there, haven't I? Quite pushed in, so it maybe looks more than what it actually is. But anyway, it's a bit more than what I thought. So what I want to do is find you guys a good spot. It must have been used plenty then. I'm just going to get my nozzle in, get as much of that as I can before I take this sponge out. Oh, I've lost my torch. There we go. Let's get that rod off. Okay. Get this sponge out of the way. Wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I overreacted. Alright, we'll get rid of that. And we'll get that big brush out. We'll get rid of that. sun's just come out. It's nice. Okay, so up there then, where all the smoke goes, there will be a ledge. That's called the throat. Okay, and sometimes there's a ledge. Sometimes it's angled, which this one is. You can see it's really angled. It's about 40 degrees, 45 degrees. And what I need to do is just get my nozzle in and just clean off what I can up there. So I can still see daylight. Ooh. Because that's all angled, it's quite well made, done, this one, and it's got the throat forming lintel in there. There's not anywhere for the soot to gather. If there is any areas, I've got a really long hand brush which I can reach in. Move you back. Let's move you back. Okay. I'll put you sort of canvasy. Don't need that there anymore. I need to get a new grate, it's got a great hole in it. Good grief. That's the wrong front, it's a round front look. But I guess it does the job. Okay, so don't know if I've said already, but there's no air vent in this room. It's really, it should be. As it says in the building regs, and it's a rented house, so you want it right, don't you? Just going to introduce a bit of heat, but you can already feel the draft here. It's off like the clappers. There we go. I'll get my smoke pot. Alrighty then. there's no double glazing in this house, and it's an old house, and there's a great gap under the door, probably a hinge. What's a hinge? An inch tall, and that's probably letting enough air in. Okay, you watch that a minute. Okay, so we've got one of these alarms here. And you can push the test button on it. It says there, push. Hello, are you awake? Is it because I've took it off the bracket? It might well be. Hang on. Let me put it back on its wall bracket. Oh yeah, there you go. Little switch on the back, and there's a pin that pokes in it. So with that alarm, what I need to do is open this app here. Show you while we're here. Audio link, that one. And if you push the test button, it downloads a report, and it highlights the problems we've had, and we've had some background CO there, haven't we? One event 2 years ago. Oh, right, okay. So this alarm's 3 years old, and it has had a CO go off. Okay, but this customer's never reported that. Okay. Oh, I'll just make note of that. I'll screenshot that and just save that in the report. Okay. All right. Apart from that, it's testing okay. All right. Let's get back to the fire. La da dee da da. So we're all done here. I've never seen this coil before. Look, it's can you see? It's sort of cylindrical in shape. Yeah. Okay, so we are all done here. Nothing really to report. There's no air vent. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. I think there's tons of air getting in under the door. However, it still should be an air vent. Carbon monoxide alarm is okay. It's still in date. It works. Fire seems to be drawing okay. It's swept okay. Just do it every year. Okay. Right, so any questions, comments, make them in the comments section. I'll get tidied up here. And I'll see you there. Have a great day. Bye now.